What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Now this is going to contain spoilers, so if you don't want to know the pick that Seattle will be making from Toronto, please do not watch this video. Now I will also add, I got the second dose last night. My whole body is literally in pain, so if I look a little off, if I sound off, I am hurting. I rolled out of bed to do this. I put on clothes and I was like, okay, I'm gonna record this. And it's a heavy diet of Gatorade right now and water. My arm is killing me. But let's try to film this video. My head is pounding, but I needed to make this video because I don't know if I'm going to get any worse later. So the expansion draft rumors have been leaked. Okay, most of the picks have been made already and put on Twitter. There was leaks of the fish tossing that had Kerfoot's name, it had McCann's name, it had everybody's name from the Maple Leafs, and there was multiple takes. So it looks like the selection has been made. So I'm going to say the name right now. If you want to be surprised, do not watch this video. Please click off of this. The Leafs pick has been made. It's official from the insiders. So again, I'm giving you a couple seconds here to leave the video if you want to be surprised later. The pick is in. This is a spoiler alert. This is coming from Frank Saravalli. His stay was short-lived in Toronto. The Seattle Kraken will be selecting Jared McCann from the Leafs. The end result, Toronto traded prospect Filip Hallander and a 7th-round pick to Pittsburgh to essentially protect their roster from Seattle. Now, please listen to this because that last line is the most important part here. First of all, it sucks that we're losing Jared McCann. I would have much rather have lost Hall or Dermott, and again, people would think I'm crazy for that. But the Leafs' biggest problem was scoring. In the playoffs, they could not score. McCann can play the wing and play center, but now essentially he's gone for only Hallander and a 7th. Now, Hallander is a good prospect. A 7th-round pick is a 7th-round pick. It could pan out. It could be 5 years from now. It could be next year. It's a 7th-round pick. But the going rate for teams to be like, hey, don't pick this player was like a 1st-round pick. The Leafs can't afford to give that up. So instead of giving up a 1st, they gave up Filip Hallander and a 7th. So reading that again, it makes sense. They protected their roster from Seattle by only giving up a middle-of-the-pack prospect and a 7th-round pick. So the Leafs protected their entire roster by basically sacrificing a prospect and a 7th. McCann was probably never going to be a Leaf. The second we got him and I seen that the Leafs were still going to go 4-4-1, I was like, okay, well, McCann's gone. Like, they're not selecting Kerfoot. McCann's a little bit younger. His contract is a little bit cheaper. The age isn't too much of a difference. The salary cap is a little bit, $2.9 million. McCann had some really good numbers, and his numbers have steadily increased. 32 points in 43 games played this past season. He was looking to be a pretty good pickup for the Leafs if he was to stick around. But this is where it gets interesting. Kerfoot, $3.5 million, can play center and the wing. And if you watch the playoffs, and we'll get to that in a second, Kerfoot was much better than most of the Leafs players. Like, we'll get to it in a second, but $3.5 million, Kerfoot is a very, very talented player. You know, either way, you lose Kerfoot or McCann, the Leafs were not going to be happy, but they have to lose somebody. He's got a modified no trade clause kicking in after this season, but it's the last year of his deal, so it won't be too bad. But I think the Leafs really wanted to keep him, judging by the way he played in the playoffs, especially. He started to pick it up, but he only had 23 points in 56 games played this past season. You know, he was looking like he was probably going to end up not being the best option for the Leafs going into the playoffs to play in a top 6 role. But why is this ad playing? I don't need to see this. That's probably going to get copyrighted. But 23 points in 56 games played, and like I said, he wasn't looking like a solidified top 6 option going in to the playoffs. But he definitely did prove it, and by that I mean looking at this list of his teammates. Okay, we can't judge a guy like Tavares because obviously he got injured like a few minutes into the series. Nylander was by far the best with 8 points in 7 games. He just looked like the best out there for the Leafs. Kerfoot had 6 points in 7 games played. Nylander, Kerfoot, and Galchenyuk was like the only line that looked dangerous in the entire 7 games that the Leafs played the Habs. So Toronto needed to find a way to either keep Kerfoot or get a replacement in McCann. So they gave Seattle one option. They said, listen, you were probably going to take McCann from Pittsburgh. You're probably going to take Kerfoot from us. If we have both of them and we're not going to give up too much, we're going to at least keep one of these guys by only giving up a 7th and a middle-of-the-pack prospect. Hallander is good, but the Leafs still won that Kapanen trade because they still had a first-round pick in that deal as well. And Amirov was the guy that they selected, and he looks like he's going to be a very good prospect and player for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the coming years. But again, it kind of sucks that all the rumors and leaks have come out before the actual expansion draft tonight, because I kind of wanted to be surprised a little bit. I kind of wanted to see what a lot of the team was going to look like, but once it started coming out, it's hard to ignore Twitter. It's hard to turn it off, especially since I actually communicate with people I know on Twitter. So just muting and blocking a bunch of different people, it would have been impossible. My Twitter feed is always full of this stuff. I don't know how I'm still talking, guys. Go get your shots, guys, but man, this is kicking me in the ass. I can't even lie right now. My whole body is just killing me. I'm sure people are going through a lot worse, obviously, but thank you again. I just want to say thank you to all the healthcare workers. I think that doesn't get said enough on any video, but thank you to all the healthcare workers. You're doing wonders right now, and hopefully, this will be done very soon. But it's crazy. But anyways, again, looking at Kerfoot, the Leafs were clearly high on keeping him, and I know a lot of people, including myself, were curious why they wouldn't have just exposed Dermott and Justin Hall and see who Seattle takes. I'm under the impression they would have taken Justin Hall, but that would have not been too good. I mean, his contract is only $2 million for a guy that's played in our top 4. But you guys have to remember, there's a lot of statistics to show that Jake Muzzin carries his defense partners. Like, Justin Hall is good, but like, how good is he away from Jake Muzzin? And the numbers don't really show that he's that great away from Jake Muzzin. I would like Justin Hall if he was on the bottom pair a lot more, because then the depth would be very good, and it's still a possibility. But I think the Leafs really need to try and give Timothy Liljegren a shot, because I think that he's a cheaper option that can give you the exact same results. People are just not watching Timothy Liljegren or have never heard of him. You guys really need to do some research, because this guy's playing like 25 minutes a night for the Marlies, or 20 plus minutes a night, killing penalties, power play, putting up points. He's not a soft player. He's actually quite good, and I think the Leafs are going to give him an opportunity this year. The depth on the blue line looks pretty good, but once this is made official tonight, I'm going to make another video hopefully in the next couple days, depending on how I feel. But this selection was pretty obvious. The second that the 4-4-1 came out, I was like, okay, they're going to take McCann. He's cheaper. I think he's probably got a little more upside. But Kerfoot, for what the Leafs need, he kills penalties. He was very good in the playoffs, and it looks like maybe they're going to try him and see if that chemistry sticks together with Nylander on the second line, put him on the wing, or see if he can still play that third line center role for the Leafs and give them as much depth as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry for, oh my god, my chair. I'm sorry for making a spoiler type video, but I warned you guys at the beginning. But I mean, most people probably know by now. So I'm gonna go back to bed. I am just, this is insane. Hopefully you guys have a good day. I don't even know how to outro my videos. I'm like losing it. Peace.